finding a coach. Especially this time of year, that's one of the most frequent emails I get is, how do I find a coach? I'm new to this. How do I get started? Where do I go? So Shannon, having a ton of experience doing it herself, so she's going to give you a little bit of an explanation on how you can find your own coach.
Thank you, Sean. Thanks, Steve, for having us this weekend. This is amazing, right? These guys are a good crowd you got talking to you today. So a little bit about finding a coach, and I actually founded Bombshell Fitness back in 2007. So I've been in this game for a long time. We were actually one of the first team out there back before there was team everything, and so I've seen a lot over the years, and there are a lot of coaching choices out there, and people will ask, is a coach necessary? And of course, professionally, I'm going to say, of course, a coach is necessary, but actually it is. You can get by without it. There's people that get pro cards and do great without, but you tend to make a lot of mistakes that you wouldn't have to make if you did have guidance. And that's the biggest thing. You want to have the guidance of people that have already made mistakes before you, so you don't have to make them. So that's one of the biggest reasons is things can go a lot faster when you have a coach and someone guiding you along the way. And how to choose that person or that group, that's the difficult part, because it seems like everywhere you turn, everybody's a coach, right? So I always laugh. I say anybody that lost 5 pounds is a fitness expert, right? Am I right? So how do you find that person or those people? And one of the biggest things I can say to you is look at a track record. Look who look who they've worked with before. Have they been around? Do they actually understand this sport? There's a big difference between coaching for competing and personally training in the gym. Those are two very different things. So make sure it's someone that understands our sport and has worked within our sport and knows the division that you are working toward. Some people, someone might just specialize in bodybuilding and you're a bikini competitor, that might not be right for you. So kind of look at what they specialize in. Have they worked in this before? And really, no matter who it is, look for someone that's going to tell you the truth. And I got to tell you, I've told the truth to a lot of people over the years and they haven't liked it, but you need somebody that's going to tell you the truth. Everybody in the gym, besides, I think this is the gym where you actually look around and go, oh man, I don't look that great, right? But in most of our gyms, we walk around and we're like, hey, because you look 10 times better than anybody else in your gym. This place is a little different, but at most gyms, you walk around, you look amazing, and everybody's telling you that you're the best, and you're awesome, and you're incredible, and you look great, and this, that, and the other. You need a coach that's going to say, nah, you do not look good. I always say, when girls come in and they'll pose, I'll say, I'm going to tell you right now, you all look horrible. So, and then we'll go from there. But you need someone that's going to tell you the truth. And that's leading from when you start to even after the show. And I think that's one of the most important things. If they know what they're talking about, and they're familiar with this sport, and they tell you the truth, listen to them. If you have a coach that after you get last place in a show says, the judging was awful, you look great, it's all their fault, get a new coach. Seriously. There's no conspiracy theory against you. There's not. If you probably get last place, you probably deserve last place. Now, there's occasions where maybe it was a huge class and you were in bad lighting. There's things like that happen. But for the most part, after you finish a show, you want someone that says, listen, we need to work on X, Y, Z. We need to change this, let's get this done. Not someone that said, you're great, you're perfect, they were awful. That's not a coach. That's somebody trying to tell you what you want to hear. So you need someone that's going to be honest with you and that really, like I said, understands the sport. You need someone that's going to respond to you quickly. We have a rule around our office. It's a 24-hour response time, except on not show weekends, obviously, but it's a holiday or something like that. Everybody has to take a little time, but make sure they get back to you quickly and make sure that you're important to them. And one of the other most important things that I want to touch on is just because someone looks great doesn't mean that they can take care of you. So that's a big thing. You think of basketball. How many basketball coaches in the NBA look like they could go play in the NBA? Not very many, right? They're a coach, not a player. So there are players that turn into coaches, which is great, but not every player is a coach. So it's the same thing. Just because somebody looks amazing doesn't mean that they know how to work with you. So don't always look at what somebody looks like to determine whether or not they're right for you. You know, you want to know what they can do with your body, not what they did with theirs, if that makes any sense. Does anybody have any questions about that? Anyone? Huh? I guess that's it then. Yeah, so hope that helped. I'll be around if you have any questions for a minute.